from 15 News.
Well, tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day, but unfortunately on Monday we are looking at our next first alert day. We alerted you at the end of the work week that Monday is going to be a tricky one because we are looking at rounds of storms throughout the day. It's not going to be just one event in the evening. So we're looking at that strong to severe storm possibility, multiple rounds, and right now all risks are still possible. And the reason I say that is because there's still questions on where the warm front is going to be lying out, and that's going to make a big difference on the type of weather we get. So let's ramp up the wind, let's ramp up the hail. Also, the flooding situation is going to be a big problem as well. Tornado, we're going to put just a little bit higher than that low category. But if you look at the risk right now for Monday, yes, definitely worse down here towards the southwest. We're talking 3 out of 5 risk, getting a little bit better as you go towards the north. But this is the low we're watching right now. It's out here in the Rockies. That's going to be moving towards us over the next 24 to 48 hours. So this is what we're looking at. We're going to start the clock at 3 in the morning. The showers will be pushing through. That's really not round one. Round one comes through in the afternoon, as well as another round later in the evening. Look at that, 7 o'clock in the evening. We got that really defined line all the way from just north of Dane County all the way down through Illinois. This is what we're really going to be concerned about in the evening. Of course, heavy rain, large hail, wind, and of course, we're going to be seeing that isolated risk of tornado before the system does move out. In terms of how much rain we could see, we'll take a look at this. Anywhere between 1 to possibly up to 2 inches of rain. And this is going to be fluid. This has already changed on the location where the heaviest rain is going to be. It really depends on where those storms track. That's who's going to be seeing the heaviest rain as we go into Monday evening. 72 degrees for tomorrow in Lone Rock, 69 here in Madison, 68 in Janesville. Much different though as we go into Monday, not getting as warm, but those storms will still be as significant. After Monday's storms though, we are looking at a break Tuesday, Wednesday, likely Thursday as well. Dry conditions all the way through next weekend before we start to ramp things up as we go into the following week. Temperatures look like this. We're going to get a little below average as we go into next week. So we've enjoyed those temperatures into the 60s. Now we're going to be seeing back into the 50s for the middle and end of next week. 7-day forecast looks like this, our first alert day on Monday. So enjoy tomorrow, but you can also enjoy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It'll just be a little cooler than, of course, what we had this weekend. But this is a gorgeous weekend.
It's so gorgeous,
Beautiful.
Kevin. I don't want it to go away.
Well, we've got 24 more hours.
You said it's going to go away, but...